Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So in this video we're going to be sharing our marriage story. So we got together when we were really young, and we were together for 3 years before we got married. We were still very young when we got married, and we kind of rushed into it, not really knowing God's purpose for marriage, what is required and expected to have a healthy marriage. And neither one of us really came from, we both came from dysfunctional families, dysfunctional childhoods. So we never really ever experienced or witnessed what a healthy marriage looked like. And so we kind of just blindly went into it, not knowing what we were doing. And so it was definitely rocky, to say the least, at first. We were constantly arguing. We had no respect for each other. It was just a very toxic, unhealthy environment. We would say really hurtful things to each other, and when we'd get upset with each other or be arguing, we would both try, like it was our purpose, to hurt one another with our words. And so it was like that for a while, and then eventually both of us went on to commit adultery in our marriage. And I think that's when we kind of hit rock bottom.
Once we hit rock bottom, it was really hard there was no trust at all in our relationship. Even though we were still together, we had a lot of difficulties just trying to stay together. And this was on both parts. We just some days were harder than others, and it was almost like just wanting to be together wasn't enough. But we kept pushing ourselves, going through it, and we didn't understand where this was going to go, how this was going to go. We didn't, like, we weren't expecting to stay together, honestly.
And there was a long period during that time where we wanted to try to work it out, but we didn't know, we weren't equipped with the tools to do that. We didn't know where to go from there. And so for me personally, there was, like I said, a long period where I was coping. I wanted to try to work things out with them, but I didn't know how to cope with the feelings, the hurt, the pain, the resentment. And so I was coping in unhealthy ways. For a while, I turned to alcohol. I was trying to get revenge, I thought that maybe hurting him the way he hurt me would make me feel better. And obviously that just led to more disaster. For myself too, it didn't make me feel any better. It made me feel worse, because then I opened up a whole new level of problems. So it kind of went like that for a while, where we were trying to kind of just going in circles and not getting anywhere.
My journey of following Christ started when I was at one of my lowest parts of my life, and I felt like there was nowhere else to go. Almost felt like I couldn't breathe, honestly. We were still trying to make our marriage work, and it got really hard really hard at some points. This day specifically, I was driving around because I just didn't know what else to do. I ended up at our church that we
Would occasionally go to.
would occasionally go to. Yes. Uh, Walked into the main office. It was on the weekday. Just walked into the main office and asked to speak with somebody, and I basically went in there, poured my heart out, and accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior.
And so once we made that decision that we wanted to know God and surrender our marriage over to Him, it wasn't like a switch where everything was just perfect after that. It was still very new to us. We were learning, um, but and so we would still stumble. So the key for me was understanding that we can't do this alone, and that we must rely on God for our strength, our patience, our peace. And once you surrender your heart and give, stop trying to control and give that to Him, it's amazing. It's a transformation, and it's just crazy to think that we could ever do this without Him, because I rely on the Lord every single day, and so to just think that there was a time when I didn't, no wonder it was such a disaster.
I feel like thanks to the mercy and grace of God, like we're here together, and that's why we're able to make this video. Mm, I think the biggest point of these videos is just to show people that you can go through some hard parts in your life, in your marriage, but it doesn't mean you have to throw in the towel. It doesn't have to be over. It will be hard. It will be bumpy, rocky, and a couple times you're gonna want to quit. It, I feel like it's a lot easier just to quit and start over sometimes, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's extremely hard. Like sometimes you think that it's not worth it. It's not worth the trouble, but um, as someone who's been through a lot of heartache in their marriage, it is worth it to take that time to nurture your marriage. And like I never thought that we would be at this point, and it was worth everything. And we're not here to judge anyone or shame anyone who is going through a divorce or who has gone through a divorce before. Um, we're just here to give hope to those who feel that their marriage isn't salvageable, because I believe that every marriage is salvageable. And so you just have to be willing to put in the work and to surrender to God, and
And make God the number one priority in your marriage, because from there everything seems to just find its place.
and so we're hoping that through our story we can inspire others to keep Christ at the center of their marriage and to really just nurture their marriage, because it's not disposable. And it's a beautiful gift that God has given us. And it requires nurturing. And the best way that you can nurture it is to keep God in the center.
And no matter what the world tells you about everything being disposable nowadays, I mean, it's so much easier to go out and get something new instead of trying to fix it. And I feel like that's the world playing its tricks on you. And we just need to stay focused and trust who's really in control, which is God.
So we hope our story can give hope to those going through hard times that feel like their marriage can't be restored or it's too far gone, because that's not true. Your marriage is never too far gone. And it takes work. It's not, it was never designed to be disposable, and it's hard. It is. But it's so rewarding if you take the time to nurture your marriage and to involve God in your marriage. It's such a beautiful thing. So thank you guys for watching.